When I left off, I was trying to get some error handling done, and I got it mostly the way I wanted, but I've decided since then to kind of change my tack here. And what I'm doing, the errors I want to handle, I'm getting a bunch of um, seri- serialized proto buffers from the database, and I want to have the function that retrieves them return a list of serialized, or rather deserialized proto buffers. And I have to decide what I want to do with the rows of the database that are not serializable, basically borked proto buffers that have somehow made it into the database. And one reasonable thing to do would be to just create an error that returns which row is is not conformant, I guess. But that means changing the SQL to return, I think, the row as well as the as well as the message. And I think I'm too lazy to do that right now. So I guess what I'll just do is I will return maybe just the first error that fails. The error will simply print out all the failed byte streams, I guess, and byte strings, and not tell you where they are. So I guess let's try that. And where are we? So this get job proto from database, I think this is where we were. So we're going to fmap on line 54. This we've got this job data list. Why is it called job data list? Where does this come from? Oh, okay, so it's just some job data, I guess, meaning that it's byte, like so it's just a bunch of bytes, as opposed to a proper job, which is a proto. And right now, the compiler is complaining that it can't, that this is not a reasonable thing to do because the types are wrong, which they are. So encode message is going to try to encode the bytes into a proto. And if it fails, it'll return some error string. And I'm fmapping here as if I'm expecting a write of bytes. But in reality, what I'm expecting is a list. Sorry, as this, it's set up here so as if I'm expecting a write of a list of serialized protos. But what I'm really expecting is a list of write serialized protos. So the write kind of needs to be pushed into the list. And I think that I'm not sure how to do that. That might just be mapping encode message to get. How about we try this? So let's try messages equal this. This should be like a this should be something like this. A list of either errors or fetch jobs. I think the errors that we get back from encode messages is a string. So I think this is the type that we're getting back, or something close to it. Let's see what. Let's See what the compile window says. And also let's get rid of this typo here. So couldn't match type empty list. I don't know why empty list, but to either status proto RPC status blah blah blah. Oh, here we go. Expected IO of status or fetch job. Actual type is IO of fetch jobs. Did I compile this? You know, I have a hard time remembering when to use the arrow and when to use let in do notation. And then I have to return something here. So let's return something innocuous. I guess I don't capitalize it. But let's actually return it. Return an internal status so we don't think that things are okay. And now we're getting some kind of like byte stringy thing. So it couldn't match internal byte string with IO of B0. And I think that let's try let works. No. Okay. So I think that this is reasonable. But what do I want to do? So I'm telling it I'm going to return either a status or a list of fetch jobs. So what I need to do is, first of all, let's try this. This is the types I really want. Here's closer to the type I have. And we're getting this byte string thing in code message. Let me ask ChatGPT, give me a mnemonic for when to use versus let in Haskell do notation. Arrows, arrow for actions, let for locals. Okay. So use let when you're defining local variables within the do block that are not the result of monadic actions. And arrow when you're binding the result of an action, like an IO operation or a monadic computation. Is this a real thing? Cool. Let's see what Gemini says. Monadic munchies, let them eat. So arrows for monadic operations, think of it as munching on the result of a monadic operation, extracting the inner value you want to use, and let is for everything else. That sounds good. I wonder if you can just see the type of what? I don't know if I can search for, whoa. I don't understand when I have to use let and when do I have to use this binding. First of all, let's find out what that thing is called. Is that like bind? So we have return. Okay, no. Which one is bind? Bind is double arrows and then equal sign. And whatever that is. Okay. So let gives a name to the result of a function call, and left arrow binds the result of a monadic operation in the current monad to a name. They're quite different. Use let for the results of functions outside the monad, i.e. normal pure functions. And use left arrow for anything monadic, as it unwraps the monad result and lets you get the value inside of it. For example, if you have frobnicate, then I guess you would use left, right? In a pure function do nothing, you would use left arrow. Wait, what? So they're using how are these different? So they're doing nothing with Y, and they're using left arrow on X. So I think what it's trying to say is X will have type bool because we've un-IO'd it. All right, fine. So I don't actually know the type of encode message, but I think there's no IO. Yeah, some byte string. So I think I'm supposed to use let. But then I'm supposed to do something with this thing, I think is part of what it's objecting to. Is that right? Okay, so we have some byte string internal, and it wants to look for an M of B, in which case, it's because I have map M. If I just do map. And here, hang on. Do I have to return a list of internal status? Maybe list of left internal status? Oh no, it's because I probably do need to do that, but I need to actually pass the internal status a thingy, a message. So now we're getting IO of status or we're expecting IO of status or fetch job, and we are getting an IO of status here. Is this the next line? 57? Okay. Yeah, good. So let's get rid of this and return my types to the way that I wanted them. Oh, sound volume is very low. Let me fix that. I guess I can just turn it up. Let me check the hello. I could bump it up here. Hello. So this should maybe be a little bit better. Thanks, Dr. Dr. Sig. Okay. Now where was I? I think I fixed those types. So I need to convert a list of car, which is a string with text, which I guess I just call text unpack on it. Well, first of all, I spelled it wrong. And second of all, I need to add data.text. I feel like this is a little bit fussy. First of all, I'm doing it in the wrong place. So why am I calling show on error? And what is error? So if I get Haskell session run is going to return a thing. And so what is that thing? Let's find out. How about we just look in session.hs? So it's going to either query error. What's a query error? It's, I guess, it takes a byte. Whoopsie. Comes packed with the query template and a textual representation of the provided params. And then I guess that's why I was calling show on it, because show will give me maybe just the error. Okay, so we'll try calling show on it, and then that's going to give us some string. And then we need to call unpack out here, possibly with more parentheses or dollar signs. What does my status even want? Does it want a text? It does want a text. Okay, and the second argument of dollar sign, namely data text unpack show error, it's expecting text. Oh, maybe I want to pack. Is that my problem? And then, okay, good. And then down here, it's objecting to the fact that I'm not getting an IO. I'm not getting a straight IO. I'm getting this status or thing. Fine. What if I just assign it to nothing. I can't mix my metaphors here. Yeah, and then I have to do something, which I think I have to like return nothing. And now we're up here. I'm not quite sure what this is asking or is objecting to. Encode message should take in a byte string, I believe. And I'm not really sure what job data list is. We can, I guess, check that from, what did I call it? Select pending jobs. So select pending job is going to return a bunch of byte strings, a list of byte strings. And I should be able to map encode message over it, no? Encode message. Oh, it does the decode message is what I want. Right? It doesn't like that. Oh, it's because I just imported decode message or die. Now I'm getting some sort of ambiguous type variable. So I guess, do I add this here? Messages should be of type list of what does decode message return? Either string or messages. All right, finally. All right, so right now I'm just throwing away all my messages and returning internal. And instead of having a list of string or messages, I guess what I want to do is grab everything and put it into a thingamajig. So let's take a look at the status proto. That doesn't exist. Status.hs here, or rather status let's look at the upstream statusy thing. So we can have status details. Is that what I want? I suppose so. Do I have a way of doing that conveniently? Not yet, I don't. And I'm not really sure. I guess I can just do like status with details. Which will take a p.code, some text and a status, and also an any. Let's take a look at the code generated by the proto compiler. Wait. First of all here. Actually, let's undo. Where's menu bar? Oh, I mean tab bar. There we go. All right, so let's take this, put it here, and look at the generated code. Do they just call it by its full name? The protobuf. Yeah. And then status of details will take a code message and then details. And it will do the same thing as here, except we'll add the details. And then the question is, does this compile? So here's the, I think these should not be in here. These should be elsewhere. Well, let's not do that. It's going to make things too complicated. I'll have to fix a bunch of stuff. I can always move them later. So any Haskell proto, and then where is the any proto actually? Where does it live? Google, maybe. Here, protobuf source Google. And how do I want to import this? So this seems like it's almost going to tell me. Yeah. Google protobuf any. And I need to have it be a list of any's instead of a single any. Okay, so it finds that acceptable. And then I need to find out what I want my anything to look like. So I guess what I'll do is I'll just create a the any will just be packed with strings, I guess. I have to find the proto-lens syntax for creating protos. Oh, I guess it's already, it's already here. So I don't really know. Status with details. So this is doing what? Creating they have this error details, bad request field violation. And it's using the error details package of whatever this is, Go. Is this a general thing? Protobuf, error details. Google RPC bad request field violation. What? Yeah, error details. So we have error info, the reason for the error. Retry info, debug info, quota failure, precondition failure. Okay, so these are the right things. Bad request, request info. Contains metadata about the request that clients can attach when filing a bug. Help link local. I think I want debug info. Describes additional bugging info. So we can have stack entries and just detail. Do I have any that's just a repeated string? Repeated violations. I guess what I'll do is I'll just use maybe debug info without or error info. Domain. The registered service that it belongs to additional information. Yeah, I guess I'll try debug info. So I now need to import this thing. All right. And I think I actually need to import it in the Protos place. Or rather, create a Haskell wrapper around it. Is that true? I don't know what happens if I just try to depend on it as is. But I don't really feel like working it out right now. So this is what? Error details. And I'll grab this string and put it in as a dependency on this integration test. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And then I would need to import it here. I don't know whether error details has a underscore or if it's camel case. I think this is not compiling the right thing. And I guess while it's compiling, let's make a function that's like make debug entry, make debug proto, and it will have, it'll take a string and it will return a p.debug, p.error. And then I'll make another. Really? I don't know. This maybe doesn't require its own method, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm just setting the detail field, really. I think that's not going to type check because error string is probably not a string. Probably a text or a byte string, so I probably have to call pack. But at any rate, this will make the error detail. And I'll need a function that's going to do what? It's going to take a list of, let's call it handle errors for now. But it's going to take a list of status or fetch jobs and return IO of a list of fetch jobs, right? Because what I want to do is I want to grab all of the fetch jobs and then just print out the error messages, right? Because I want to not fail if I have a bunch of jobs and only some of them are malformatted, I want to, I think, ignore the malformatted ones and make sure that I handle the other jobs as opposed to erroring out. So let's try that. And before I get back to fixing the compilation errors, this function is going to do what? It's going to call it jobs or. And then I think this is where I need the either function. Either takes an A to C and a B to C, and an either AB and returns a C. Case analysis for the either type. If the value is left A, apply the first function to A. If it is right B, apply the second function to B. Examples. Either length *2 S. And the type of this argument is either string or int. And if it's a string, we take the length. And if it's an int, we multiply it by 2. So maybe all I need to do is either print error or what? I guess I'll just do this recursively. Is that bad? We'll try it. So if we have the empty string, we'll return the empty string. If we have left error, we're going to print. Well, we're going to put stir line of show message status. And if it's a right job, this is not going to type check, but somehow I have to handle the IO-ness in the right case, and I don't even know if I can do pattern matching like this, but I'll write it out like this. And if it's something like this, we're going to call I forget the syntax here. I guess we'll call handle errors on X. Something along those lines. All right, so let's fix a bunch of these compilation errors. This is going to be not at all, not at all acceptable. So let me just comment that out. It doesn't seem like it can find error details. Let's see if we can find out. Wait. Where can't it find it? Are you sure? We're importing this error details Haskell proto. which is importing this thing. Oh, you know what? It's probably because I misspelled it. So let's see if we can find out. Error details. What doesn't it like about this? Oh, you know what? I need to import the, I don't import the, right. I need to import this. I should import qualified, but I'm not going to because this is going to be such a long name. I feel like I need to still figure out how I want to handle all this qualified stuff. It seems like there's a lot of stuttering in Haskell package names. All right, so it doesn't want me to do this. P error details. Oh, okay, I think it's because this is not a thing. Debug info is a thing. And then here, p.field is now ambiguous because I guess error details must export field. Can I just do debug info? And then what else? What field do I need? Detail, maybe? How does this work? I don't know. It seems to kind of like that. So this is this I need to like what, packet? Well, cool. That compiled. It's a little bit surprising. This is a giant mess. We'll figure out how to do this. So it likes everything, I guess, except for the last one. Is that so? Oh, no, it doesn't. So what I really should do is I should use either. But how do I don't know how to use either to get oh, maybe just the identity function. Either print status or ID, where print status on a what? A status is poster line of show message status. Oh, I guess so. Current problem is it. I need to return a. I need to return something. So I could use maybe. It's going to return an IO of maybe fetch jobs. I guess that's what I should do. And then what else do I need for either? So it's got to take in the. So I have this ID function. Can I just do f map of ID? No. Oh wait, hang on. What am I doing? I want to take. Oh, I want one handle error function is what I want. Yeah, like this. And instead of acting on a list, what am I even doing here? I want to do this. Right? Can I have the just ID function? All right, so now this is an either thing, this input, which I'm calling status or, and I want to say, let me ask the AI to fix this. I fix this function. It should, it gets called on a status or, PJ fetch job, which is really an either error PJ fetch job. It should print the errors and accumulate the right fetch jobs and return the fetch job unmodified. It has almost the correct logic. So, so it wants to do case analysis. That's fine. Why can't I use either? Change is made. More explicit case, error handling with the left error case. So, is it possible to do with either? But it wouldn't be as clear. Okay, fair enough. All right. It just told me what the case syntax is. Case something of. Do I need another variable name? case status or. So I can reuse the variable name. I do need do notation, I guess. Case status or of. Can I just do that? Left. We're just going to put strlen of show message. Okay, it wants me to call this error, which is clearer. And then write I just do just job. Let's find out. Return. I need to return. Okay. And then I need to return nothing in the pert stir line case. All right. Yeah, case analysis seems cleaner. Where did my compilation window go? Did I close it? I think I just closed it by accident. Bummer. All right, it likes that. Fine. Okay, so now that I have this handle error, I feel like I have too many functions now, but I guess this is the price you pay for functional programming. Okay, so I have this handle error function, which is extremely poorly named. I'll call it get job or print error, which is at least informative, even though it's also a terrible name. And let me get a sip of water. Okay. And what? So now we're going to have to map this into the jobs here. I guess I'll keep these lines that are currently allowing me to compile. Wait. I guess I do want to do that here. Wait. Yeah, so I have to return nothing if there's a thing here. And then what do I want to do here? So once I've called map on this thing, I get a list of either string or fetch jobs. And I could just print all those strings, but I think I decided that what I really want to do is convert the strings into an error. Is that wise? I don't know. It seems like maybe too much work, but I guess we'll do it. So what's remaining to do? So I need to take these strings, anything that's a string, and what? I guess let's not do that for now. So instead of being status or, let's make this either string fetch job. And this doesn't need to be show message. And I don't need this stuff that I did with the error details. But I guess I'll leave it in for now. And should we convert to a status error with error details before printing? The benefit mainly there is just uniformity, and then if I decide to change this up so that we're going to return somehow the status so it can be acted upon by code, then that will have been done. I don't want to live in a world where there are some stringy errors and some statusy errors. But I guess that's fine for now as a temporary state. At any rate, I've got these messages. So I can call maybe map print get job or print error on the messages. This should have type what? Now we're going to have a list of IO maybe fetch jobs. Right? Oh, I need let. And I need to spell messages correctly. So it thinks that this is a single IO maybe fetch job. Oh, well, first of all, what am I doing here? This is wrong. I can't do this word-wise. All right. So let maybe jobs. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. All right, so that it likes those types, and then I need to find out how to get a list of IO maybe fetch jobs, which should now all be IO just fetch jobs, because that's the only thing that get or print job can return. You always get a just job or nothing. And these are wrapped in IO. And then let me just ask the AI. So I have a function that I have a list of this type with type. I want to return IO of fetch job, where I'm returning only those, I'll call this A. I have a list A. Only those elements of A that are of form just fetch job. So it seems like I could use like a list comprehension for this, but I don't know how to move. I guess maybe map M is the thing that moves the IO out of the list. So let's try that. I'll try return foobar of maybe jobs, and I'll add a where clause here. Where foobar. No. Yeah, why not? Where foobar of Baz is equal to what's the syntax? You do case analysis, right? Case Baz of nothing. Oh no, I do. Well, hang on. I could I could do this I could do like foobar of this, whatever this is called, where you just write out the cases. Something like this. So we're going to take a list of maybe pj.fetchJob. And in fact, why don't we check Hasql? So is there a function that will take a list of maybe A and return a list of A? Cat maybes. Take while just. Maybe to list. Returns an empty list with nothing in a singleton list. Cat maybes takes a list of maybes. Huh. Is this a thing that's actually in? So if I have maybe 4 and nothing and maybe 6. Do I have to import maybe? Oh no, so what am I doing? Just. Okay, and then cat maybes. Okay. Good. Maybe I can just try that. Except I need to get rid of the IO. Do I use fmap for that? Okay, so I do need to import data.maybe to get cat maybes. Is that worth doing? Do I really want to add another dependency? Let's see how it's implemented. Basically the same, except theirs is a little bit shorter. Wait, no. That's so cat maybes. We're gonna call map maybe on the identity function. All right, I'm just gonna use my own, I guess, so I don't have to import another thing. Okay, so can't map IO of maybe fetch job with maybe fetch job where on 72. The first argument of foobar, namely maybe fetch jobs. We expected a list of maybe fetch job, and we have an actual type. Oh, didn't I want to try to have map this or something? I'm not sure about this syntax. So the actual type is, the IO is on the outside, that's good. But now the type has some either the status, which is what status or is. So this should be status or, and this is a function. So the second argument here, it thinks is a function. Okay, so it thinks, so here's, I guess, more detail about what's going on. Foobar is applied to too many arguments. Foobar well, yeah. Is it though? Let's try breaking this up. Let just jobs be foobar of maybe jobs. And this, I expect to have type of PJ fetch job. And then, no, I don't. Maybe, I don't think this helps me at all. Let's see what the type error is. Okay, so it's expecting a list of fetch jobs, and it got a list of fetch jobs. So instead of fmap, I want just no, I don't know. So if I have a IO of A, I want an IO of a list of A. Parallel. Sequence. Maybe I want sequence. So if I have a list of IO of list like IO of foo, IO of int, let's say, and I need a list of, and I need a thing of type IO of list of int in Haskell. How can I do this? Yeah, sequence. I don't want to do that. From control monad. Maybe there's a way to avoid creating the IO of thing here. For example, so map is going to take this, what is messages? I'm wondering if there's a way that I can kind of like fundamentally redo this. One is that perhaps this get job or print error. What if I just inline this logic? Will that help me? I think it might. But now I need to figure out the trying to recall how to iterate over all the results. Is there a convenient way to do that? Or is there, let's see. Can I do like I think there's some way to get a GHCI with all my stuff in it. Okay. So if I do type of get job or print error from database, can I do that? Why is get job or print error not in scope? Oh, did I do the wrong one? Let's get to a place where it compiles. So I'll try get job or print error. Should hopefully be here. Okay, and then if I want to know what happens if I do that. There's going to be a thing that takes, it's a function that takes an either string or fetch job, returns f of, it doesn't help me so much. Let me just try asking the AI. Which I may have already done. I don't really remember. I have a list like this. Inside of a function with return value. Why don't I just give it the function? So given this function, fix it up so that it prints all the left errors from what is it, job data list, and returns right of the jobs where the jobs is from messages is all of the successfully decoded jobs from messages. Did I not paste it? No, I didn't paste it. Oops. Let's also do it here where you might have more context. Okay, so what is it doing? It's calling separate jobs. And then on map decode message job data list, what is separate jobs? And then we're calling map m print error errors. What is map m again? Is that what I wanted this whole time? Map m takes a monadified thing, a thing that returns a monad of b, so an IO of b, and a traversable, and pulls the m outside, but ignores the result. I guess that's fine for printing errors, because we do want to ignore the result. And then we're going to return right the jobs. And so separate errors is going to, I guess, we're going to get two variables, one with the left stuff, one with the right stuff. Sorry, separate jobs or separate errors? Separate jobs. Okay. And then that should actually be easy to implement, but I'm going to ask it to implement it. What is the implementation of separate jobs? So we'll take an either string PJ fetch job and a list of, no, it'll return a list of fetch jobs on the left and strings on the right. And we're just calling fold our, yeah, I guess folding is something that I haven't really played around with. Definitely not in Haskell, but I used to I used to be into it when I programmed a lot of R, but I barely remember how to use it. It's not like under my fingers or at the tip of my tongue or anything. And then we're going to call separate prime, seeding it with 2 empty lists and calling it on the messages. And separate prime, when it encounters I think there's no single tuple, but when it encounters a left error and it's being called on jobs errors, we're going to, I forgot about the single colon notation for, is that right? Yeah, I guess so double colon is typing, right? So it's going to, I guess, preconcatenate error onto the errors or const them. And then here, we're going to do the opposite. Is this valid Haskell? I don't know, but we'll try it. First of all, does it compile? Yep. And then let's copy its implementation here. So I guess that should have been, I guess, the thing that I did from the beginning is just separate them into 2 lists. What I was trying to do is trying to find a way to cleverly go through the list of kind of mixed types and sorting them into separate lists of single type each was I guess what I needed to have done. So print error, I'm going to guess is what we have. Error is just the strings. So is this the same as map and put str line? And here, it can't, it doesn't like, it's expecting a type of list of string, and it's getting a type of list of fetch jobs, T0 of string. From separate jobs somehow. And why? So this is an empty, I guess, like an empty tuple, and then a list of fetch jobs. What if I tell it that this type is pj.fetchJob, comma string? So separate jobs. So map decode message on job data list is going to do what? Job data list you can't just map decode message on it, can you? You can. So that should be the list of ethers, right? What if I add more parentheses here? All right, you don't like that. What if I take this and make it its own variable? So we'll say let, is this what messages was before? Say that this is of type either string or PJ fetch stop. And we've still got this T, so why? What if we just ignore the errors? So let's see if there's, maybe I'm doing something later in the function that's making it mistype. Couldn't match string. So why does it think that that separate jobs wants to return just a list of strings? Expect the type IO of string on line 79. What's on 79? Let's try returning nonsense again. I feel like this should work. This is looking better than what I was up to, but I don't understand why it's wanting a string at this point. Expect the type IO of list of string, actual type tuple of fetch jobs and strings, which is what I want it to be. In the expression separate jobs messages, return left, blah, blah, blah. In a case alternative, I'll ask Gemini. So I'm getting the error. So this is saying it's expected to return list of strings A0, but it's actually returning A0, B0. I really don't know. Let's start over. I'll say, given these functions, find the bug that is causing separate jobs messages to return the wrong type. So the bug is in the provided code. Separate job function takes a list of either string PJ fetch job and separates them into two lists. Yeah. It uses folder, which iterates the list from left to right, from right to left. Separate prime then takes O and either string PJ fetch job. Is it from the call of the folder? For successful cases, it prepends the job to the jobs list. However, for errors, it prepends the error to the errors list. This is incorrect behavior. The issue arises because separate jobs always returns an empty list for successful jobs. The jobs, due to how it accumulates errors, prepended to the list. Finally, it intentionally returns a left of internal status high instead of, well, that's true. In separate prime, swap the logic for handling errors in the successful cases. So for error, just accumulate errors. Prepend successful job. Really? That doesn't seem right. Although maybe it is. No, something is wrong. Let's try ChatGPT. So as I fix this code, find the bug in this Haskell code and fix it. Okay, so again, ChatGPT says the issues with the handling of the left values. It incorrectly keeps the previous list of errors instead of adding the new error to it. Well, that's just undoing the thing that Gemini told me was the fix, right? Let's try this again. No, I don't think that's the issue. So what if we just have a constant string here? Oh, you know what? It needs a list of yeah. It wants to return a list of strings. What if we just return the constant list of foo? Will this type check? No. Oh, is it because I'm using the wrong thing? Yeah, let's try this. I think I just should have used let. Is that the problem? I'm trying to, yeah, okay. Well, that's my fault for just copying and pasting whatever Gemini gave me. That's what Gemini gave me, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, it sounds like Gemini is confused about the arrow as well as I am. Okay. So once that's fixed, I believe this should work now. Errors. And here we're going to prepend error on errors. All right, good. That was much more involved than I expected it would be. Let's see if this is right, the purchase line errors bit. All right. Moving along. Okay, so I guess lessons learned. One is, before I spend a while debugging, I should, if I'm in do notation, I should double check, or at least sanity check the lets versus the arrows, the left arrows. And I'm not going to get all of them, but that maybe should be at the top of my list for like things that can go wrong pretty easily. And the other is this thing that I mentioned before, is I should have just separated. I should have essentially filtered out the justs In fact, I feel like this can probably be a filter. Instead of this like folder thing. And in fact, either string. Maybe there's just a thing. I bet there's a thing that returns a like sorts these out. Partition ethers. Yeah, can I just call that? I guess I should have checked that earlier too. I guess I need to. Yeah, I guess the either type is in base, but maybe I need to import this. It seems to be in base. But maybe I don't have a new enough GHC. Yeah. Okay. Maybe being in base just means I still have to import it, but I don't have to like add another package dependency. And it is, I guess, the reverse convention. Yeah. Okay. Well, that could have been easy if I knew Haskell. If I knew Haskell well enough. I'm getting the feel for it, and I am enjoying it. There are a couple of things that seem a little bit not great. Like the package naming conventions are a little bit awkward. The import qualified stuff is a bit awkward. All right, so I can now get the job protos from the database, and since I'm returning the fetch jobs, I know that they are what's the word? I know that I'm getting valid protos and not things that are going to error out if I try to read them as protos. So the next step will be once I get the list of fetch jobs, I want to call wget on them and download the corresponding stuff. But I'm going to take a break here. I may be back later today, but maybe not. So we'll see. I'll almost certainly be back tomorrow.